I am a daughter, a sister, a wife, and a mother. I am a friend of women, and I am their advocate. Life is full of change and uncertainty. We know this. We experience it on a daily basis. We come in many different shapes and sizes, and we need to support each other and our differences. Our beauty is in our differences. But life inevitably throws us curveballs, unexpected circumstances that remind us to expect the unexpected. I've come to understand these curveballs are the beautiful unfolding of both karma and current. My own path towards wellness has been a long and dynamic one. It's taught me that healing from the inside out takes time, and there can be great value in various sources of guidance. I'm proud that today, at 43 years old, I've come to value the aging process and focus on inner rather than outer beauty. Anorexia was there for me before I got into modeling, but because of the arena and the demands, the disease really got out of control for me. It's like being an alcoholic and going and being a bartender. The doctor asked what my diet was like, and I had to sit down and realize it's not normal and hadn't been normal for about 20 years. I found that balance is key. I'm no longer an extremist in any one direction. Though my parents assured me over and over again that I wasn't stupid or slow, I sensed that my dyslexia was now a stigma on all of us. While women across the globe have many differences, language, culture, environment, our similarities are undeniable, and the impact of abuse and oppression affects us all. Just as young people absorb all kinds of messages from the media, young girls learn what it means to be a woman by watching the older women in their lives. My daughters, your daughters, our daughters deserve safety, protection, and the freedom to make their own choices about their personal lives and their physical selves. I feel like it's my responsibility to honestly cover a lot of subjects, in part because I have 2 little girls and I really want them when they grow up to have a voice. Part of treatment for drugs and alcohol is you abstain from these, but with eating disorders you can't abstain from food, so the treatment is longer than drugs and alcohol. I am not naturally that thin, so I had to go through everything from using drugs, to diet pills, to laxatives, to fasting. Those were my main ways of controlling my weight. I had my first seizure, and I had to go in for heart surgery. My doctor felt that the main contributing factor was so many years of malnutrition, especially during my formative years, even before I got into modeling. Many women who have anorexia put their hearts in a compromised situation. It's not unusual for women with anorexia to suffer heart attacks. The pressure was if I didn't get into that dress size, someone else would. Someone else would get the job. I had dropped out of school and was a runaway, so I didn't have family to fall back on if I didn't work. I didn't have a lot of other options of making money other than modeling. You have to find a balance with food in your life. You can't take out food. It can be absolutely terrifying. My weight fluctuated when I was 30. And I did the unthinkable. I stepped out as a plus-sized model. I think that we can't deny the public's want for balancing out the images that are out there depicting women. Not all of us are 17 and a size 2. Just because you're a different size doesn't mean you're sitting on the couch, eating bonbons all day long watching TV. I did some great work with my Calvin Klein ads on the motorcycle. It was really groundbreaking because people hadn't seen a woman actually riding a motorcycle before. My parents were both from the East and had moved to San Francisco only so my father could go to law school there. I was born in 1968, just 18 months after my sister Chrisse and just 1 year after Dad passed the bar exam. From the time I started school, it was clear to everyone that I wasn't learning at the same pace as other kids. Motherhood has brought me many joys and insights, but the new perspective it granted me on the role I had inadvertently played in young women's lives for the 2 decades I spent in the modeling industry was downright sobering. I was essentially paid to perpetuate the myth that we are all, or should at least try to be, 17 and a size 2 forever. Eating disorders, body dysmorphia, and a general dissatisfaction with one's life and body seems to ail too many young people. I didn't know what to do with calories. When you become a parent, it's not all about you anymore. I've learned to surround myself with women who lift me up and leave me feeling nurtured rather than drained. When I consider the deeper meaning of yoga, I realize it's about a lot more than simply performing a variety of postures on a mat. But I would assert that despite the wide variety of yoga options and individual preferences, there is one universal element, the union of consciousness and movement, breath and awareness. I bicycle 12,000-foot mountain passes, run, cross-train, skate ski, hike and mountain bike. I believe that as women, we must commit ourselves to sustaining the progress made by our foremothers who fought so hard for women's equality and liberation. There comes a moment as a parent when you realize you will no longer be the center of your child's universe. Being born and raised as a Californian, I somewhat ignorantly had taken for granted the diversity and liberal mindset that shaped my childhood and adult life. I grew up on antibiotics. Every ailment, sore throats, earaches, flus warranted a trip to the doctor and in most cases some kind of prescription. In the past, I often found that when I reached out for a fast cure, it led me down a slippery slope of more medications, hopeful dependence on the next prescription, and ultimately a much longer, drawn-out illness. My days are jam-packed with carpools, classroom assistants, tending to chickens, dogs, and 7 acres of olive trees. I delight in my family obligations, but they leave little time for breaks, let alone quick trips across the country. Exposing any subject that is unpleasant or controversial means risking judgment and making some people feel uncomfortable.